mind-controlling fungi deep in the jungle. A terrifying fungus known as Ophiocordyceps infects ants, taking over their minds and forcing them to climb high before latching onto a leaf. Then the fungus grows out of the ant's head, spreading spores to new victims. The infected ants become mere puppets, obeying the will of a parasite that turns them into zombies. This eerie phenomenon has inspired horror stories and even movies, but for ants, it's a very real and gruesome fate. The guillotine's final use in 1977. When you think of the guillotine, you probably imagine the French Revolution in the 1700s. But shockingly, France used the guillotine for executions all the way until 1977. The last person to be executed this way was Hamida Jandoubi, a convicted murderer. By that time, much of the world had moved on to more modern methods of capital punishment, making this a strangely outdated and eerie event. The guillotine, once a symbol of revolution, was still claiming lives almost into the 1980s. The strange smell of space astronauts have reported a very peculiar phenomenon after spacewalks, an unusual smell clinging to their spacesuits. Many describe it as a metallic or burnt scent, similar to welding fumes, hot metal, or even burnt steak. But space itself is supposed to be a vacuum, so where does the smell come from? Some scientists believe it's caused by high-energy particles interacting with the oxygen in the airlocks. Others think it's the lingering scent of dying, stars floating unseen in the abyss. Either way, it adds an unsettling mystery to the experience of being in space. The 100 mph sneeze. A sneeze isn't just an ordinary reflex. It's an explosive burst of air, rocketing out of your nose at nearly 100 miles per hour. That's faster than most roller coasters. The force behind a sneeze is so powerful that droplets can travel over 20 feet, carrying germs to everyone nearby. Some sneezes have even been strong enough to fracture ribs or cause temporary voice loss. So next time you feel a sneeze coming, remember, you're about to unleash a tiny storm from your body. The Frisbee inventor's bizarre fate. Walter Morrison, the man who invented the Frisbee, had an unusual request before he died. He wanted to become part of his own creation. After his passing in 2010, his family honored his wish. His ashes were pressed into a real Frisbee. While it may sound strange, it was his way of staying connected to the game he loved. Now, somewhere out there, people might be tossing around a Frisbee that contains the very remains of its own creator. When cats eat their owners, cats may be adorable, but they have a dark side. If left alone with a deceased owner, some cats have been known to start eating the body. Unlike dogs, which often mourn and refuse to touch their owner's remains, cats may see it as a matter of survival. There have been documented cases of pet cats nibbling on their deceased humans within days of their passing. It's a morbid reminder that nature always finds a way. The fear of soul-stealing photographs. In the 1800s, some people believed that photographs could steal a person's soul. This superstition was particularly strong among certain cultures, where it was feared that capturing someone's image could trap their spirit. Even today, there are remote communities that refuse to be photographed for this reason. While we now know photographs are harmless, the belief adds an eerie layer to those old black and white portraits with haunting, staring eyes. Crows hold funerals. Crows are some of the smartest birds in the world, and they have an eerie behavior. When one of their own dies, they gather around the body in what appears to be a funeral. Scientists believe this isn't just mourning. It's also a way for crows to learn about potential dangers. By studying the scene of death, they can identify threats and avoid similar fates. It's a fascinating yet chilling glimpse into the intelligence of these mysterious birds. The Black Widow's deadly romance. Love doesn't always end well in the animal kingdom, especially for male black widow spiders. After mating, the much larger female sometimes eats her partner. Scientists believe this happens because the female needs extra nutrients to lay eggs, and the male provides an easy meal. However, not all black widows engage in this deadly practice. Some males manage to escape, but many don't make it out alive. Vending machines are deadlier than sharks. Sharks may have a terrifying reputation, but here's something unexpected. Vending machines kill more people each year than sharks do. How? Every year, multiple people are crushed to death after aggressively shaking or tipping vending machines to retrieve stuck snacks. These machines weigh hundreds of pounds, and when they fall, they can cause fatal injuries. Meanwhile, shark attacks are incredibly rare, with the vast majority of encounters ending without injury. So next time you're frustrated with a vending machine, remember, it's more dangerous than the ocean's most feared predator. The Jimpy tree. In Australia, there's a plant so painful that some victims have reportedly taken their own lives after being stung. It's called the Jimpy tree, and its tiny needle-like hairs inject venom that causes excruciating pain lasting for weeks or even months. The worst part, the pain can return randomly for years. Scientists who study the plant must wear full body protection because even brushing against it can lead to unbearable suffering. Faster decay in water. A body decomposes 4 times faster in water than on land. The reason? The warm, moist environment accelerates bacterial growth, while aquatic scavengers quickly strip away soft tissue. In some cases, bodies become bloated due to gases released during decomposition, causing them to float. Water can preserve some bodies longer, while in others, it speeds up their decay. This is why forensic scientists carefully analyze the condition of waterlogged corpses to determine how long they've been submerged. Goosebumps after death. Even after death, the human body can do strange things. One eerie phenomenon is post-mortem goosebumps, where the tiny muscles around hair follicles contract, causing the hair to stand on end. This can be caused by temperature changes or muscle contractions in the early stages of rigor mortis. In some cases, it gives the unsettling illusion that a corpse is reacting to something, or worse, coming back to life. What hair can reveal about you. A single strand of hair holds an incredible amount of information. Forensic scientists can analyze hair to determine a person's age, sex, and even their diet. Hair can reveal what a person ate years ago, where they've traveled, and whether they used drugs. Some experts have even used hair analysis to solve decades-old crimes. It's a powerful forensic tool, one that proves your body leaves behind more evidence than you think. The death rattle. As the body shuts down, something eerie can happen, something called the death rattle. It's a gurgling, raspy sound that emerges from a dying person's throat, caused by fluid buildup in the airways. The person usually isn't aware of it, but to those around them, it can be a chilling and unforgettable sound. It's often a sign that the end is near, making it one of the last, most unsettling moments before death. The conscious decapitated head. For centuries, there have been chilling rumors that the human head remains conscious for a few moments after decapitation. Some eyewitness accounts suggest that beheaded prisoners blinked, moved their eyes, or even attempted to speak before losing consciousness. Scientists believe the brain could stay active for about 10 to 15 seconds, long enough for a terrifying realization of what just happened. Though we may never know for sure, it raises a haunting question. What would those final moments feel like? The Black Plague's death toll. The Black Death was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, wiping out between 75 and 200 million people in just a few years. Entire villages were left deserted, and bodies piled up faster than they could be buried. Some people turned to extreme religious practices, self-flagellation, or even violence, believing the plague was divine punishment. The disease was so contagious that even touching the clothes of an infected person could be deadly. It reshaped history, changed economies, and left a haunting mark on humanity forever. The ghost ship of 1872, the Mary Celeste, is one of the most famous ghost ships in history. In 1872, it was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean, completely intact, with cargo untouched and food still on the table, but not a single person on board. The crew had mysteriously vanished. There were no signs of struggle, no distress signals, and no logical reason for the abandonment. Theories range from sea monsters to mutiny to an explosion that forced the crew to flee, but the truth remains unknown. The Mary Celeste remains one of the greatest maritime mysteries of all time. Capgras delusion, when loved ones seem like strangers. Imagine waking up one day and believing that your family, friends, or even your partner have been replaced by imposters. That's what happens to people with Capgras delusion, a rare and terrifying condition where the brain misidentifies people, thinking they are strangers wearing familiar faces. Scientists still don't fully understand it, but some believe it's linked to damage in the part of the brain responsible for emotional recognition. To those suffering from it, the world becomes an eerie, unsettling place where even the people they love seem like intruders. The mattress nightmare. When you lay down on your mattress at night, you probably don't think about what's inside it. But here's something to keep you up. Over the course of 10 years, your mattress can double in weight. Why? Dust mites. Millions of them. They feed on dead skin cells and produce tiny droppings, filling the mattress with microscopic debris. Even the cleanest of beds is a playground for these invisible creatures. If you ever wake up feeling itchy, you might not be alone under the covers. We hope you enjoyed our first video. If you did, we'd really appreciate your support, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot and keeps us motivated to bring you more awesome content.